Sorry about the lightning and stuff like that. Okay, so I was on Facebook and I couldn't believe, it still gets me. I've said it in so many videos that we're still talking about Batman v Superman. And so when I scrolled down the Facebook page today, even in the Snyder fan clubs and stuff like that, they were still talking about the Martha moment. And some ideas um, looked okay, and what it was actually meaning and building up to and stuff like that. And I thought, yep, that's fine, but that's not how I see it, and that's not how the other people I've spoke to, some of the majority of people that I've listened to, uh, didn't see it. So this is the way I see it, and I've said this in so many other videos, but I thought I would make this video especially. I may have made it blooming last year, mind you. I don't know. I've made so many videos, but this is an updated version of it. Okay, so this is the Martha moment. Right. So we've had a film where it starts off with sort of Jonathan and Martha, sorry, Thomas and Thomas Wayne and Martha leaving the cinema, and we have one of the most iconic deaths basically in comic book history. I would like to say, because it's been done so many times. And I remember when BVS was getting done, and there were some pictures released, and we knew we were going to get the story again. And it says, God, doesn't everybody in the world know about why Batman came to be by now? Especially when you had that big Christopher Nolan trilogy. But it was done by like Orson Welles, Citizen Kane sort of thing. And if you haven't seen Citizen Kane, then it'll mean very less, but it's not important. And in that death scene, the last words that Thomas Wayne said was Martha, his last dying words. And all during the film, you see Bruce's guilt and stuff, and his purpose of being Batman was because the death of his mother and father. And there was, and again, Martha being highlighted. You also had Martha's as Clark's living mother. He'd lost his father as well, and so he only had his mother, and he didn't want people to know too much about his identity. That's why he was shocked when he realised that Lex Luthor knew his full name and knew who his mother was. Now, during this course of the film, you also saw the world turn against Superman. Lex Luthor had, set up a trap and stuff like that. For Lois Lane to go out and investigate and find out why these people were doing certain things. He also set a trap for Lois. It was a test for Lois to see if he knew that put Lois in danger, Superman will come for the call. And you find that out later on in the film when Lex pushes Lois off the balcony. It was basically just to get Superman's attention, and even if she fell to her death, then whatever Lois Lane found out about Lex would be gone. So it was a win-win for Lex at that time. So as we see during the course of the movie, Bruce Wayne's sort of, he's still dreaming about his death of his parents. It's manifesting, it's going darker and darker. His sole purpose of being Batman is in his dreams of his, the constant dreams of his mother and father, and that he's doing this to honour them and everything else. But also, he's been imagining this Superman as some sort of alien, this sort of threat, this sort of monster that that he believes all it takes for him is just one day to be pissed off, and then Superman could just wipe out the planet. Okay, so he feels it's, and he's got all this power, and he sees the effect this man has on the planet. He sees the buildings fall down in Metropolis. It's all his fellow colleagues have all sort of fell to the death and stuff like that. It's making his colleagues, lose legs, and in the wheelchair that we see in the courtroom, and how he's posting back, he's not accepting Bruce's handouts, and then he witnesses the Senate chamber, getting blown up, and all these innocent people getting killed, and Superman gang is in the midst of it and stuff like that, and it's all blaming for him, and Bruce is feeling he's the only one that can stop him, and he's been that twisted by Lex, by articles and pay slips, and as Lex says in the film, it took many years to drive this hatred between Clark and Bruce. Why? Because he hates these metahumans. He sees Batman also as a threat, because this is a man who's taken law onto himself. He sees him a threat to not only his criminal empire that Lex has got, but also to himself if Batman ever turns his attention to Lex. So it is good to wipe them both out. So now we get to the climatic battle, where Clark and Bruce are already at the stage where, I would say Batman more than a hateful, vengeful, not in the right mind, sort of frame of mind to bring this guy down. But what's happening with Clark? Clark is in a bad place, okay? He is feeling guilty, he is feeling hurt, he's trying to do the right thing by everyone, he's trying not to use his, as what we saw in Man of Steel, he doesn't use his strong will, he could have knocked those bullies down in Man of Steel if he wanted to, but might sometimes ain't right. That is why when we first see Superman and Batman meet, he just gives him a warning. It doesn't hurt him, he doesn't threaten him, he just says, listen, I'll give you respect, what you're doing, I'm not going to cuff you, he doesn't send him to jail or whatever, he just says, you're retired, okay? You may be doing what you think is right, but no, next time that backlighting is, and you go to it, I'm putting a stop to it. So, and also at this time, we see Clark, and he's just talked to Lex, and his mother has been held hostage. The one woman who's kept him right, who's helped raise him as a boy and accept himself for who he is. But during this time, he's again battling with a world that's not accepting him. And he can't help but, save people. And Lois has said that Clark cannot be, stop being Clark and not help people with powers or, with powers or without. So we get to a stage where his mother is now tied up, witch burned against it, and he feels guilty. He feels that, that's my mother. Don't bring my mother into this, because his identity is out and everything else. And identity is one of the other key words, identity, because he doesn't want He doesn't want too many people knowing, otherwise he'll go for his family, he'll go for his loved ones, he'll go for Lois. You know, and it takes a bit of trust to do that. So so then we get to a stage where his mother is tied up and he's feeling helpless. You know, he wants to burn the face off her legs because that's his mother, but he's holding himself back, and then he slowly realizes maybe that he needs help. He can't do it alone. This time, he is fearing, not for himself, but for his mum. So when he goes towards Batman, he can see Batman, who's dealt with this sort of darkness before. And before he meets Batman, he tells Lois that he's sort of slowly giving up on the world. He's had enough. He's at his breaking point. He'll gladly throw off his robes and whatnot. He'll try, and he just wants his mother. And he goes towards Bruce, and he says, "Bruce, I need your help." But Bruce is too transfixed into this. He is too transfixed and put him down. He's not listening. What Bruce is trying to do at this time is trying to teach Clark about fear, and that he should fear him, and that he's not a god, and that he's just, he might not even be a man, because in Bruce's eyes he's a monster, right, that needs to be put down, and he's like George and the Dragon. He's the knight, he's going to put him down, the Dark Knight. He's going to put this monster down, and he's too focused in that. Meanwhile, as the fight goes on, Clark then realises, what that woman said, whose man died in jail, is this guy has changed. This Batman has gone darker. He doesn't listen to words anymore. He listens to this. So we get into a fight, and Superman says, if I wanted it, you'd be dead already. But at this time as well, his will is broken. His mind is broken. He has to do something that he regretted ever since killing Zod, but he knew he had to kill Zod. He had to kill Zod, but this time it's like, I either kill Batman, Bruce, or I let my mother die. I can't make this decision. So both minds are conflicted. So as Bruce tries to teach him about fear and everything else, and fires him with kryptonite, and he's coughing and says, now you know what fear is. But the only fear that Clark has got right now is his mother losing her life. He doesn't care about his own life anymore. For him, everything that he stands for is down, is dusted, is broken. It's not his world anymore, which makes the end of the film even more powerful, because he sees Lois as his life. She gives him more reason to carry on the good fight. So when we get to that bit, when we get to Batman with the spear, and Clark is looking up saying, he doesn't want to say mother. He doesn't want to say mummy. Okay, because he wants to. Now you could look at it two ways. Did he know who his mother's name was? Maybe. Possibility. Right? But really, he's probably got in a habit of disguising, of keeping his relationship with his mother a secret, and treating her just like any other woman. And maybe by calling, he's just want to save his mother. Martha, save Martha, because this spear's going down to him, right? And then just then Bruce suddenly realises Martha. It brings him out of this darkness. He's questioning, why is he bringing my mother's name into it? Right? Who is Martha to you? Are you trying to manipulate me again, you monster? And then Lois comes in, and he advises, no, that's his mother. That's Superman's mother. Bruce then realising that this is not a monster that is below his feet, but a man who had a mother that could be taken away from him, just like Bruce's parents were. Just like Bruce's mum was taken away from him, Bruce has become the gunman, and he is about to rip the son away from the mother. And so for Bruce's eyes and for Bruce's way of thinking, he could redeem himself. He may not have saved his mother, but he could save this human's mother. This person who's now dissolving into just a man and not a monster. He promises him, no, please don't you go, I will go in order to sort of redeem myself in your eyes. I have been so wrong that you've been human, that that you've lived here, that you didn't want to kill me. He sees himself as the villain. So for Bruce to save Martha, that is, it's him mentally being cured. It's his genius brain that is putting things back into place, and that is why you saw that scene of his father again as he holds his spear above Clark's face, of his father saying, Martha. He is the gunman that he's sworn to bring down evil. He is that. And that is what that scene means to me. So Superman, he only had that one fear, and that was his mother. He was willing to sacrifice his life. It still makes him super. So it doesn't. So you could say that Superman won the fight, and he also saved Bruce's humanity, and he brought Batman back being Batman. And it was the love of the parents that did it, and that is why the word Martha now, and it's a lot better word than mum or mummy, right? That's why the word Martha now should go down in history as being one of the most iconic scenes in movie history, and why it should always be talked about. And if you've got any other explanation, so be it. But as long as it makes that scene even much more better. Thank you very much for listening.